Michael Mansour, Mark Reed, Shane Patton, Michael Murphy, Michael McGreevy, Matthew Axelson, Jeffrey Taylor, Jeffrey Lucas, Michael Pope, Luis Solfram, Lance Vaccaro, Joshua Harris, John Markham, Jason Freewald, Stephen Doherty, Robert McKill, Mark Carter, Joseph Swedler, Colin Thomas, Brendan Lee, Adam Smith, Adam Brown, Tyler Trahan, Thomas Valentine, Aaron Vaughn, Matt Mason, Stephen Mills, Robert Reeves, Jonas Kelsall, Lou Longlace, Thomas Ratscliffe, Craig Vickers, Brian Bill, Kevin Houston, Nicholas Null, Keith Robinson, Derek Benson, Christopher Campbell, Jared Day, John D. Vendora, Michael Strange, Jason Workman, John Brown, John Tummelson, Nicholas Spear, Jeremy Loost, Brett Shadow, Christian Pike, Matthew Leathers, Joe Price, Nick Check, Kevin Ebert, Matthew Cantor, Thomas Fruit, Kyle Vandegiesen, Emilio Campo, Michael Cook, and Christopher Fishback.
Jonathan Farmer, Shannon Kent, Scott Wirtz, Joseph Collette, Will Lindsay, Robert Hendricks, Benjamin Hines, Christopher Slootman, Michael Thomason, Ryan Riley, Albert Miller, Michael Riley, James Johnston, James Sarter, Elliot Robbins, Brandon Kreitzer, Michael Nance, William Fries, Luis Deleon Figueroa, Jose Gonzalez, Scott Kopenhofer, Dustin Ard, Jeremy Griffin, David Naddle, Kirk Fujikami, Javier Gutierrez, Antonio Rodriguez, Antonio Moore, Michael Goebbels, Nathaniel Irish, Diego Pongo, Moses Navas, Juan Miguel Mendez Covarrubias, Marshall Roberts, Chase Sweetwood, Marco Baracco, Jack Ostrovsky, Christopher Nem, Cesar Villanova, Brian Beltierra, Wesley Rod, Evan Bath, Brandon Kimball, Vincent Iberia, Humberto Sanchez, Johanny Rosario, Nicole G, Hunter Lopez, Taylor Hoover, Ryan Knaus, David Espinoza, Riley McCullum, Jared Schmitz, Kareem McCooey, Max Soviak, Dagan Page, and Dylan Marola.
Matthew McClintock, Matthew Thompson, Alan Brown, Ryan Owens, Martin Alvenstar, Mark Booker, Shane Brooks, Alan Stigler, William Du Bois, Matthew Emmerman, Ramon Morris, Wyatt Martin, Dustin Luca Ziswicks, Christopher Nordgren, Ward Johnson, Eric Seaman, Sarah Medina, Jacob Pug, Pablo Ruiz, Monternos, Daniel, Peter McKenna, Matthew Rowland, Forrest Sibley, and Kyle Gilbert.
Robert Hartwig, Michael Oliveri, Jason Hill, Sean O'Connor, Joshua McDaniels, Nicholas Bellard, Glenn Sewell, Eric Sofrine, Jeremy Katzenberger, Ryan Larson, Marcos Cintron, Scott Smith, Gustavo Rios Ordonez, Dustin Napier, Jonathan Metzger.
William Gross Magia, Jared Uwe, Augustus Bakari, Christopher Camarillo, Joe Cunningham, Adam Gonzalez, Joshua Robinson, Leon Lucas, Thomas Dudley, Kyle Schneider, John Ferris, Jared Verbeck, Wyatt Goldsmith, Terrell Pastor, Nathan Byers, Nicholas Newby, Mark Caulfield, Kenneth Ewell, Tyler Springman, Daniel Elliott.
Damon Lehan, Dennis Jensen, Joshua Seals, Charles Price, Bill Sirks, James Butts, Tyler Holtz, Douglas Bordeaux, Drew Russell, Ricardo Sierras, Benjamin Schmidt, Caleb Nelson, Michael Tatham, Scott Harper, Robert Haldry, Joshua Lawrence, Ashley White, Christophe Domage, Christopher Horns, Jeremiah Sancho, Jordan Bastine, Sean Charles, Paul Rivera, Jerome Miller, Serena Butcher, John Lyons, David Robinson, Edward Grace, David Gray, Bradley Smith, Dennis Hay, Stephen Ockman, Ray Lozano, Jacob Fraser, Gregory Span, Jason Bailey, Brian Daly, and Gregory Span.
Thomas Mayberry, Ryan Sharp, Justin Vincent, Christopher Daly, Samuel Griffith, Jalfred Vaccarano, Clark Corley, Ryan Lumley, Noah Court, Kurt Kern, Justin Whitmere, and Joseph Altman.
Matthew Schwartz, Matthew Seidler, Chad Regland, Pernell Herrera, Robert Talteris, Christopher Patterson, Brian Lionheart, Brian Bell, Michael Pyron, Neil Turner, Jean-Luc Bateman, Kenneth Cochran, Keith Benson, Daniel Bartle, Nathan McElton, Travis Riddick, Joshua Parrish, Jesse Stites, Kevin Reinhardt, Joseph Logan, Christopher Singer, David Johnson, William Stacy, Edward Dykes, Terrence Hildman, Billy Sutton, or Sutton,
David Taylor, Christopher Brown, Roberto Cazares,
Alex Martinez, Trevor Stanley, Tyler Smith, Christopher Bordini, Antonio Burnside, Jeffrey White, Dennis Weichel, Jamie Darbo, Nicole Rosansky, Jeffrey White, Sean Hannon, Michael Felicio, James Dutton, Ramon Hoot, Philip Schiller, Abraham Tarlow, Michael Barden, Aaron Faust, David Nowarczyk, Tanner Higgins, Jason Edens, Moses Gonzalez, Christopher Bosco, Brandon Eccleston, Dick Lee, Andrew Burton Mahalo.
Kyler Estrada, Jerry Reed, Harris Pugh, Ryan Hall, Nicholas Whitlock, Joshua Wilkins, Julian Schulten, Cesar Cortez, Obrani Montez Descalzo, Joshua Bourne, Timothy Conrad, Alan McKenna, Robert Machanti, John Loftus, Edward Acosta, Francis Imler, Connor Lowry, Jesse Grindy, William Wilson, Aaron Istri, Joseph DeAugusti, DeQuain Rivers, Clovis Brett.
Alexander Kovalaitis, Kenneth Jacobs, Leroy Durango, Eduardo Cantos, Joshua Wisman, Anthony Servin, Brandon Goodry, Richard Kessler, Scott Pace, Matthew Pizzari, Vincent Ellis, Ryan Luxmore, Nathan Davis, Gerard Collier, Matthew Beach, Lyle Peltissier, Eugene Mills, Paul Volk, Stephen Stevens, Hunter Hogan, Jose Rodriguez, Zachary Hargrove, Adam Ross, Julian Colvin, Richard Berry, Eric Williams, Brandon Pepper, Eric Warren, Vilmar Galarza Hernandez, Tofiga Totolo, Stephen Sutton, Julian Chase, Nicholas H. Oladov, Sean Brazos, Taylor Berry, Barrett McNabb, Nicholas Fredish, Joseph Lilly, Trevor Pennant, Robert Mazzarelli, Michael Strakoda, Cody Mooseman, Raul Guerra, Jonathan Batista, Juan Navarro, Bruce McFarlane, Eric May.
Joshua Beal, James Slott, Brent Taylor, Leandro Jasso, Chad Wilkinson, Jason McClary, Joshua Mikoski, Andreas O'Keefe, Christopher Zanitis, Christopher Raguso, Deshaun Briggs, W.M. Bosch, Carl Enos, and Gabriel Conde.
Nicholas Johnson, Don Beret, Chris Workman, Dean Schaefer, Jonathan Walsh, Michael Metcalf, Nathan Anderson, Thomas Bedrejko, Michael Quinn, Benjamin Signiglia, Justin Everett, Corey Little, Nicholas Elliott, Manuel Vasquez, Benjamin Neal, Thomas Fogarty, Scott Pruitt, David Rylander, Juno Copius, Gregory Childs, John Hewley, Christian Senecalis, Nicholas Dickhole, Bruce Clark, Jacob Swalley, Chase Martin, Dustin Gross, Alejo Thompson, Wade Wilson, Alex Hernandez, Jorge Velasquez, Brian Walker, Richard McNulty, Israel Nuenes, Michael Knapp, Jabron Knox, Samuel Watts, Jesse Osbert, Tobias Alexander, Aaron Fields, Travis Morgado, Ryan Wilson, Cale Miller, Keaton Coffey,
Russell Bell, Matthew Sitton, Todd Lampkin, Jose Lopez, Curtis Durant, Kyle McLean, Daniel Lindenberry, Claus Clayton Bochan, Ricardo Seja, Erica Alexson, Clarence Williams, Trevor Atkins, Lago Cargo, Cameron Sambal, Michael Wistow, Carl Hammer, Sergio Perez, Nicholas Taylor, Daniel Rodriguez, Jose Reyes, Sean Sullivan, Joseph Fitzmaurice, Joshua Ashley, Crystal Hicks, Jeffrey Rice, Darian Hicks, Bobby Estelle, Jose Belmonte, John Jacobs, John Hanson, Jonathan Griffith, Daniel Price, and Glenda Diaz.
Matthew Stills, Matthew Stills, Javon Battle, Shannon Hicks, Joseph Richardson, Dale Hughes, Kevin Everett, Christopher Monaghan, Mark E. Sims, Aaron Whitman, David Chambers, Mark Spoonhoven, Larry Bunn, Andrew Patterson Q, Rex Shad, Christian Pike, David Proctor, Michael Cable, Jonathan Dahl, Curtis S. Raden, Christopher Ward, Wilbur Roca Santa, Devlin Sanchez, Matthew Ruffner, Jared Yoder.
Walter Gray, Ethan Martin, Thomas Kennedy, Kevin Griffin,
James Justice, Gregory Coates, Daryl Enos, David Williams, Coder DeBose, Matthew Anukin, Ryan Deschke, Sky Moat, Gregory Trent, Andrew Keller, Eric Holman, Michael DeMarcio, Louis Torres, Patricia Horn, Christopher Birdwell, Mabry Andrews, Jessica Wing, Kyle Rookie, Alec Jawitzki, Mine Warder, Jonathan Schmidt, Christopher Rabel, Bradley Atwell, Shane Cantu, Sakuru Nina, Joshua Nelson, Gennaro Bedoy, John Townsend, Dion Roberts, Jason Swindle, Riley Stevens, Orion Sparks, Jonathan Golnitz, Daniel Metcalf, Camilla Steedley, Aaron Henderson, Thomas Butler, Jeremy Hardison, Donna Johnson, Michael Duskin, Matthew Cantor, Alex Dominion, Brandon Buttry, Dane Venn, Ryan Jane, Brett Gornowitz, Daniel Carlson, Kenneth Bennett, James Leon, Joseph Shiro, Justin Marquez, Milton Brown, Thomas McPherson, Ryan Savard, Joel Demondo Tew, Brittany Gordon, Robert Billings, Shane Wilson, Kashif Lemon, Clinton Ruiz, and Bill Robinson.
Aaron Blanchard, Robert Hess, Garrett Austin, Brandon Stiles, Reed Nishizula, Richard Dixon, Daniel Fenn, Michael Simpson, Trinidad Santiago, Charles McCray, Stephen Glass, Ryan Henderson, Sarah Princeton, Mark Segaldo, Zachary Shannon, James Jones, James Grisham, Tristan Wade, Anthony Dino, Darren Lynn, Tyler Orgar, Nick Chiselda, Nelson Trent, Leonard Robinson, John Price, Enrico Mondegon, Samuel Harrison, Gerard Glass, Gerard Harold Green, Yesel Vista Carasso, Matthew Leggett, Christopher Muldaney, Ryan Arsenal, Nathan Pulaski, Charles Strunk, Michael Donahue, Stephen Boyd, Andrew Weathers, Jordan Spears, Christopher Keifelt, Jordan Spears, Michael Cathcart, Major Waddle Turner, Joseph Wiley, Michael Lacey, David Lyon, Jacob Hess, Daniel Reed, Andrew McAdams, Drew Scobie, Andrew Schipple, Edward Bolley, Joshua Gray, Kristen Landis, Daniel Hamilton, Benjamin Krantz, and 19-year-old Keith Williamson.
Brian Black, Jeremiah Johnson, Dustin Wright, Alexander Missadine, Jacob Sen, Stephen Criven, Lee Smith, Newton Brown, David Broadbander, Todd McByrne, Joshua Rogers, Cameron Thames, Weston C. Lake, Kyle Milliken, Eric Hout, William Bays, Dylan Baldridge, Etienne Murphy, Douglas Riney, Jason Finnan, Matthew Llewellyn, Kevin McCure, James Moriarty, Scott Dayton, John Perry, Tyler Lubet, Andrew Byers, Ryan Gloyer, Avedon Chavez, Mihail Colin, Avian Sullivan, Joseph Mikhail, Christopher Selez, and Taylor Galvin.
Randy Billings, Joshua Silverman, Peter Bowler, Omar Ford, Jesse Williams, Terry Gordon, Daniel Vasilian, James Smith, John Pelham, Roberto Scout, Aaron Torian, Caleb Erickson, David Poirier, James Chafin, Daniel Ferguson, Carlos Rodriguez, Timothy Owens, Carrie Danluck, Mark Voss, Victoria Pitney, Herman Mackey III, Eric Christian, David Sonka, Brandon Landrum, Francis Phillips, Kevin Cardozo, Thomas Murray, Brandon Prescott, Sean Farrell, Christian Chandler, Daniela Rojas, Derek Rasmussen, Martin Barreras, Adrian Perkins, Angel Lopez, Lyle Turnbull, Patrick Quinn, Christopher Grant, Forrest Robertson, Richard Vasquez, Alex Viola, Matthew Rodriguez. Liam Nevins, Timothy McGill, Joshua Strickland, Landon Jones, Jonathan Gibson, Fimo Basor, Thomas Basor, Jeremiah Collins, Jennifer Morris, Patrick Hawkins, Cody Patterson, Joseph Peters, Nicholas Welch, Octavio Herrera, Jamar Hicko, Keith Grace, Timothy Santos, Zach George Banner, Kenneth Alvarez, Jonathan Hofstetter, Jason Toby, Ricardo Young, Michael Owens, Benjamin Tuttle, Sonny Zimmerman, Anthony Maddox, John Russell, Stephen Smith, Rob Nichols, Eric Lawson, Karen New, Stephen New, Nicholas Burgley, Joshua Bagner, Todd LaFrica, Robert Thomas, Randall Wayne, William Brown, Whitliff Chaikin, Justin Jonathan, Enberg Alt, Robert Ellis, William Moody, Javier Sanchez, Justin Rogers, Tracy Stately, Errol Miller, Christopher Drake,
Joe Nunez Rodriguez.
Joey Manrex Rodriguez, Ray Ramirez, Kyle Stockley, Mariana Fernando, Sean Long, Joe Reggio, Justin Sisson, Robert Pierce, Jess Thomas, Jonathan Phillips, Trenton Boyle, Jeffrey Baker, Mitchell Stanley, William Gilbert, Eugene Ogden, Dwayne Flores.
So thanks. I know that was hard for most of us, and I have to say, that's good. You know, this is what Memorial Day is really about. It's not a celebration, it's honoring. So we read about 1,000 names, and that's no small number. That's just the last 11 or 12 years. For some of us who knew a lot of those folks that we read their names, it gets even harder because you can associate a friend or a brother. So 55,000 people were killed in Vietnam. 55,000 of those names. You know, you go back to Korea, you go back to World War II, and I don't mean to belittle any of that. It's just, it's an overwhelming number. But I just want to make sure that we do this, you know, on Memorial Day, that we really respect and teach our children. I'm glad that Fern read. You know, teach them what this really means, what that sacrifice means. Those names are attached to real people. So, as an aside, this organization, hero.org, 22 veterans are committing suicide a day. You know, it's an unforgivable number. Any is too many, but 22 a day is unforgivable. There's a lot of reasons for that, and I'm not a doctor, I haven't studied it, but what I've heard and what I've read is a lot of it is untreated PTSD, untreated, you know, family problems, untreated alcoholism, things that people are using to make up for the exposure to combat. We have a son that's been on 20 combat deployments. We've seen lots and lots of his friends get killed. I know a lot of you here have experienced the same thing. Some of my squadron mates, you know, we've lost. It wasn't to the extent that it has been for the last 20 years, but Heroes.org provides service dogs for PTSD folks. That's a great organization. There's many, many others. My oldest daughter works for the Station Foundation. They're limited to special operations, families, service members, and Gold Star kids, but they're an excellent organization. If you know somebody that has a special operations background or family or Gold Star families, wives, children, brothers, sisters, it's all paid for. It's out in Montana. My daughter runs several different events here at Virginia Beach. And it's a way to get people back together and try to reintegrate into society after going through the horrific things they've experienced in their life. So those are just two that I'm familiar with because our family's involved with it, but there's plenty others out there. I just hope that in the future we can continue to do something like this. Unfortunately, there'll be more names. There'll be more names next year, and my wife continues to tally them up. So we hope to see you all here next year. Thank you all for participating. I think we were going to ask Tommy if you could do a benediction, if you would. Thanks again for your time.
And once this Roger, once this concludes, I'm going to be buying a bunch of pizzas at Whiskey. What is it, Laura?
Whiskey Kitchen.
What?
Whiskey Kitchen.
Whiskey Kitchen. So if you don't want pizza, then you're on your own. But I'll pick up the
You should have made him wait for that till after the benediction.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. Tommy, take it away.
Tommy's working. So's God.
Let's pray. God, thank you. Thank you for the day, God. Thank you that you're a gracious God. You give us the ability to come before you. God, thank you that we live in a nation where we can still honor those we lost publicly, that we can approach you publicly because of the freedoms that we have here. Which reminds us this day, thank you so much for the people that gave the last great measure of devotion to this country. God, I pray for their families, that they have to bear this burden of no longer having their loved one with them anymore. Pray for their spouses, their mothers and fathers, for their children that won't grow up with a mother or father. God, I pray that their names are never forgotten. God, I pray that you help us always remember what this day is. It isn't about cookouts or having another day off or a long weekend. God, this is about remembering those who gave it all. And we had that example from you. Thanks for your sacrifice for us. We pray all this in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Virginia Beach Tea Party, Diana Howard and her crew, and everybody associated with the Tea Party, and just all the great patriots here. Thank you for coming out. Next time it will be 10 times this size. We didn't get it was a last minute thing, but thank you all. So now off to Whiskey Kitchen. What?
Kitchen.
Whiskey Kitchen.
Down on General Booth.
On General Booth, yes.
Just leave you a trail of breadcrumbs.
Let me turn this off.